Apologies for what just happened, or how unstable it is. Temporarily, hopefully we'll be able to keep the connection in check. I've got some new media for round 7 of the ARS Touring Car Championship Season 2 here at the Goodwood Motor Circuit. The guys in the qualifying session now. 10 minutes. The first laps are about to come in. The Joe 2 guy in the BMW M4 about to set the benchmark time. It's a 1:15.992 for Joe. That's instantly bettered with a 1:15.205 from Quinners, as yep, the lag still present. James goes second now with a 1:15.548. John Wondren, they are fourth at the minute. Amuda fifth with a 1:25.752, and Crazy John with a 1:31.081. ALT Hagee goes to third place with a 1:15.990. A lot of these guys lower down the order, not really representative times. I don't think anyone has mechanical damage though, and that's the important thing. Even if the stream fails or any of that, at least it seems to only be on my end. It's unfortunate that it's happening at all, but at least it's not affecting the... Let me just get that back up on YouTube. Next little laps are about to come in. With a 1:15.205. Retorius goes second, 1:15.535. Amuda improves, 1:17.059. Bit more representative of time there. Mika in chat, nice having you along, lad, for as long as the internet. No, it's strange because the internet's been working fine for everything else, so I'm not sure, Chief. Oh, there's a bit of jumping going on with the stream. Apologies for that. Crazy John second, only 19 thousandths faster than Retorius. Gwynner's still with that 3/10 gap. As Crazy John seems to have paused, at least for now. Winners making their way through the final chicane, very close to the walls, just what we like to see, nailing the throttle on exit. This could be an improvement again, no, not quite. Nevertheless, a very solid final sector there. Some of these other guys coming through. John Wandering improves 1:17.294. Amuda improves 1:16.946. So Amuda currently winning the GBM war as John Wandering has spun around, and that I can tell even with this what apparently is net code. Hello to CJ in chat. And hello to D-Look in chat. Hopefully things start calming down soon with my network. Please, boss, please. I don't know why it does this to me. Hagee is currently second, actually. So, actually, one point that I should bring up is this being such a high-speed circuit, similar to Tokyo, it does favour the momentum-based Toyotas in that sense. So, running first and second at the moment, the ARS Racing Blue team. No real surprises there. Very good effort from both of them. A car very well suited to this type of circuit. Again, slight improvement through sector 2 from Hagee as they make their way through the final sector. All about this final chicane, how much speed they carry. Very close to the walls. Crazy John improves. 1:15.063. Hagee improves 1:15.262. That keeps them third. but Crazy John improving the closest to a 114. We did see 114s in practice. Perhaps that was when some of these guys burnt off a bit more fuel. We shall see. Okay, I don't want to say something and then it start acting up again, but I think... Are we in the clear in terms of people messing up on track thanks to my netcode? I think everyone's okay at the moment. Amuda's in the pits. I can only assume because of damage, yep. Though they're staying in the pits, for whatever reason. Joe gets out the way. Joe, it's not been a good qualifying for them so far. They've not really been able to find that much of a rhythm here. 115.992 is their fastest, that's only 6th. Of course the ballast may have something to do with that. Crazy John into the 114s, a 114.981, an extremely impressive time there by the Mad Greek. Hagee jumps their teammate by 15 thousandths of a second, a 115.190. That puts them up to 2nd place as the duels continue. A minute and 20 seconds left. Anyone coming across the line now will have one more attempt. And I think someone did just come across the line now. I'm not sure who it was. It was ART James just getting that timing right. It's going to be cutting it close. Or this might be his last attempt. So Crazy John with a 2/10 gap over the rest of the field. I think what it might have been is I've got my phone charging because it's quite low on battery, and it was a bit close to the PlayStation, so I moved it away, and I think that has increased stability because it seems to have gone away. Crazy John comes across the line. No improvement that time, but another 114. So he sets 2 laps that would be good enough for pole at this point, showing not only pace but consistency. He pulls off to the side of the circuit. There's Hagee, his closest challenger. Oh, and he gets it wrong! Bit of a tank slapper. He tries to catch it, keeps it in a straight line but goes onto the grass. That attempt is done. So Hagee won't be getting pole here today. A bit of dueling between 4th and 3rd, both probably on laps. And Quinner's up by a 10th and a half. Of course, the Honda's probably better in Sector 2. A bit more tight and twisty compared to Sector 1, where it's all about speed and high speed handling. He's up ahead now. Retorius might get a bit of slipstream as well to boot, but if they do keep battling, who knows what will happen. They're about to come across the Sector 2 marker. 2/10 purple again. Quinners is on for a very solid lap here. Through they come. Retorius right behind as well. What's it going to be? Retorius goes off. Quinners is going to run it to the line. And he just misses out. It's a 115.026. So the Honda seemingly having an advantage in that final chicane. And that is Crazy John taking pole position here at Goodwood for round 7 of the ARS Touring Car Championship Season 2. If you are enjoying the stream so far, be sure to leave a like on it. Consider subscribing if you haven't already to stay in touch with all of the action to do with ARS and other events happening on the channel. Some Sim Racing Federation content coming up in the future, more than likely. 6 people in the stream at the moment after it was restarted. There is your qualifying results then. Less than a 10th in it, less than half a 10th in it in fact. We're about to get race 1 underway then. 30 minutes will be the race length for race 1. It is your grid. It is Crazy John on pole. It's Quinners lining up alongside in 2nd. Hagee 3rd. Retorius 4th. James 5th. Joe 6th, Amuda 7th, and John Wandering in 8th. We're about to get racing underway here at the Goodwood Motor Circuit. It's green, 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 and the cars are off. The Toyotas are going to probably drop back as they normally do. Look at James, partially on the grass as he tries to make his way through. Retorius as well, up to 3rd, nearly 2nd. Quinner's managing to just about get up to speed now and hold on to that 2nd position. But Hagee has dropped their way down from 3rd to 5th. Got a good clean start there by Crazy John, but the Toyota's coming into their own already. Looking to go around the outside. Little bit of contact. Oh, millimeters away from going onto the grass. And Quinners has just about managed to hold on. And into the lead goes ART Quinner. Roland Jupiter 7. I suppose he's technically ART Quinners as well. James in 3rd. Good start by them. They've managed to get past Pretorius now. Hagee in 5th. And the Joe 2 guy in 6th. Meanwhile, John Wandering has actually got ahead of their teammate Amuda in the GBM battle. Going on board now with Joe 2 guy as they make their way through the final sector. Everyone gotta be single file through the chicane. Look how close they get to the walls. No one touching. Very, very close. As up ahead you see Retorius and James scrapping it out. Retorius backs out of it for now. We'll have the slipstream as they go onto this curved, flat-out section. Hello to Carbon in chat. Nice having you along. Retorius looking to the inside. Can't quite find the space. Looking to the inside again. Again, just having to back out. We've got to be very cautious this early stage, especially in these high-speed sections. There isn't that much room for error. No tarmac runoff areas. It's all just grass or gravel. Bit of contact there as the Ford Mustang of Retorius gets a little bit unsettled. Look at this, a 5-car train. I can count, trust me. Quinner seems to have dropped off the back of this. If they keep dueling as they are, who knows? James up into the lead of the race meanwhile. Crazy John looking to hang it round the outside to retain position. It's going to be close. Retorius goes off. James up into the lead of the race, and they're side by side through the chicane. Retorius holds on to 3rd. Side by side, Joe and Hagee. Who's going to have the momentum here? You'd think the acceleration for the BMW, but the top speed of the Toyota. John wandering into the pits, probably with damage. Side by side, they still run. Hagee manages to take 4th place. What will the BMW be able to do in the slipstream though? Crazy John meanwhile makes the overtake once again on James. These two are starting to get a bit of a gap over Retorius. Juicy, juicy stuff. James doing a very good job at the moment. He knows he has the advantage in the acceleration department, but the low and mid-speed handling of the NSX very solid. Looking again, try and find his way. Single file once again for now. Retorius in 3rd still, as Joe manages to fend off Quinners, at least for now. Quinners has caught up to the back. Oh, and there's contact! Someone's gone off! There's Retorius involved. And who else? Was that just Retorius? Gonna have to see. So there was a battle between Crazy John and James. Oh, he just clipped the barrier. And Hagee, did Hagee get through unscathed? No, he didn't. That's damage for ART Hagee. No real space to avoid that incident. Really unfortunate. Retorius saying he's lagging backwards constantly, or other people are so difficult to No, but it did seem on this camera that we caught, he just clipped the inside wall by a millimetre, and that's enough to upset the car's trajectory, send you onto the grass. Crazy John extending their lead, getting a bit of a gap over James, nearly breaking the slipstream in fact. James is doing a very solid job once again. Third place is Quinners at the moment. Fourth place, after the damage for Hagee, is Joe. And Amuda looking to challenge Hagee as well. Gonna go on board here with Amuda. Oh, because of the commentator, manages to save it. Well done. Would have lost a bit of momentum. He's out of slipstream range now, that's for certain, but nevertheless a good save. This is what I mean about this track being so unforgiving and so high speed as well. Just going to quickly check the championship information. At the moment it is the Joe 2 guy who is in the lead of the championship. 5 points, Hagee in second on 115, and Quinners who is on 103. Crazy John out in front. He is currently fourth in the championship on 80 points. So in order to keep himself in the championship fight, we'll definitely need to consolidate this pace and win. Still plenty of race to go. Has indeed managed to break the slipstream from James. So everyone should be calmed down by now. Is Hagee choosing to stay out? Yes. So he hasn't repaired his damage. That might cost him, or it might just be a case of damage limitation now. Retorius apologising for Hagee getting caught up in the aftermath and then leaving the lobby, so he's not going to be here for race 2 unfortunately. But good sportsmanship by them. Amuda in 6th at the moment. The Golden Bear Motorsports BMW, one of 2 of them. And with that DNF, they're going to be looking at some higher championship points. John wandering 14.7 seconds back from their teammate at this stage. But remember, they did have to pit after they picked up damage earlier on. It's the only reason you would see pit stops. Well, unless there's a fuel leak or anything of that sort. Or they just forgot to fuel the car, or forgot to put tyres on the car for that matter. That'd be quite dense of them. The gap between Crazy John and James starting to close down a bit. It's now 1 second. I think it was around 1.3 or something around that before. So James closing up a bit. Maybe Crazy John's just moderating the pace, keeping James at a range that's comfortable for him. Will Quinners be able to come back into this? We know that car is extremely quick. It's very suited to this circuit. Be interesting to see how that develops. He's one that's definitely in the championship hunt. Current championship leader, the Joe 2 guy, is in 4th, as Amuda has managed to get ahead of Hagee. When did that happen? Okay, so Hagee must have come into the pits. Apologies for me missing that, but he's repaired the damage. He's now right behind Amuda, applying the pressure, bit all over the grass. Oh, bit of contact. No damage to either car, it would seem. And they continue on their way. The gap's pretty spread out besides this one battle. Gonna go rear wing cam on Amuda's car, looking back at the charging Hagee, now with his damage repaired and we know his pace. Look at that, looking to the inside, contact there! Flash of the lights from Hagee. Just reminding him that he's there. Now going into this high-speed section. Oh, very risky. He's going to try the cutback. Oh, and the Muda on the grass manages to hold on to it. Onion barges all around. I think Hagee's going to get the run on the inside this time around. Oh, we accidentally click away from that pedal. Apologies for that. Crazy John's still in the lead. Charging down, it looks like a Muda could be looking to the inside again. Nope, backs out of it. And Quinner's into the pits. Quinner's has picked up damage somewhere. When did that happen? Was it the chicane? No, it was somewhere before that. I'm really not sure when that happened. He must have ran wide and hit something. Some kind of barrier. So he's dropped down to 4th and he's coming back into this battle with Hagee and Amuda. Hagee being challenged once again. Amuda was back into 5th, now down to 6th. The dueling continues. Just have a look at the speedometer here. Such a high-speed circuit. To the inside goes Amuda. Has to go very deep into the grass to avoid contact. Oh. Getting my keys mixed up, apologies. So now Hagee starting to get a little bit of a gap. Can't break the slipstream as of yet. Perhaps we'll be looking to catch their teammate. All about maintaining consistency. Oh, and Amuda slides off into the wall. I think they've avoided picking up damage on that occasion. Let's see if we can get an onboard. I'll go a bit further back. Here we go then. So he may have just done what Retorius did. Clipped the inside, sent him wide. No, I think he just carried a bit too much speed up actually. Maybe a bit early on the throttle as well. But he's on his way again. Nice having the activity in chat as well. Crazy John still in the lead of the race at this point. The gap has gone up between them and James. As James in the background, he's crashed! James has crashed. He's got engine damage. Oh, wrong key. Engine damage. He finds his way into the pit. Luckily, he didn't go past pit entry. Whew. And that is James out of 2nd place. Here it is again. It's the exit of the chicane that's catching people out, it seems. Again, stock setups on all of these cars. As James goes round again! What on earth has happened that time? He just ran a bit wide, wheels on the grass, go round and round. No contact with Quinners, or was that Hagee? I think that was Hagee. Up the road. 10 seconds the gap now, and Joe goes up to 2nd place just for keeping it on the road pretty much, staying consistent. It's one of his qualities. Shout out to Big Cat 1970 for liking my activity. On to lap 12 goes the Joe 2 guy, as 3rd place has gone round, and that's Quinners. Quinners gets it wrong. He's had rear aero damage there. Let's see if we can piece together what happened to Quinners. Did he clip the grass? There is literally no margin for error. There's a bit of tarmac runoff, but there's grass in between it. Actually, he didn't even clip the grass. Just got loose on the curb. It's a race of attrition here. All about staying consistent. And that's promoted ART Hagee up into 3rd place. James back to 4th as Winners rejoins in 5th. And Amuda only 1.5 seconds back. Will be fancying his chances if he can put pressure on Winners again. Indeed, we've only just reached the half race distance marker. D-Look in chat. Evidently, it would seem that they haven't been practicing as much as they might have needed to. It is a very tricky track, and it's one that isn't used by leagues overly often. Nevertheless, consistency is the name of the game here today. Again, be sure to leave a like on the stream if you're enjoying it. Consider subscribing to stay in touch with all content on the channel, whether it's ARS or other stuff. Nukeshot Media and the ARS Touring Car Championship Season 2 brought to you once again today by Pepsi Max Raspberry. Good stuff. That's going to get me hyped again. Whew. 12 seconds the gap. Crazy John really setting a good pace. 14.912. I believe is better than his qualifying lap. So the fuel has been burning off, but not by much. He's really found a good rhythm and pace. The Joe 2 guy looked like he was going slow from that particular camera view. I think it was just Jack Wilkinson with the pan and zoom tricking my mind. Shout out and big up to Jack Wilkinson on the cam once again. They're finding their rhythm. Winners decides to come into the pits. That's the same damage he had before, so I don't think there's been another incident. In and out, and he rejoins behind John Wandering in 7th place. So John Wandering benefiting from the mistakes of others, finds himself up the order once again. Good consistency. Amuda 5th, so 5th and 6th. It's a decent points tally for GBM. Still plenty of race to go. They might get even higher up, who knows. Car 95, James, making their way down the straight. Just one side of the front of the car, very scratched up. They currently sit 5th in the points standings on 57, so not really in the championship fight anymore, but nevertheless battling to stay ahead of some of their rivals. As we have a spin, who is that? Oh, it's John Wandering. As soon as I mentioned consistency. Oh, I'm so sorry, John. We're gonna go on board, let's see what happened to him. And if he picked up damage, the grass is the run up to it. And he finds himself there. Oh, that was a bit of an odd impact. Front aero damage. And I'm sure he'll be finding his way towards the pit lane. Actually, no, he stayed out. Interesting call. You don't lose overly much time with this pit lane, if I recall correctly. 12 seconds the gap between CJ and the Joe 2 guy. Hagee in 3rd. And yes, it would be quite good if we could take photos in the pit lane in Gran Turismo Sport. I believe there's a way of... you can take screenshots, which can be exported and stuff. However, the actual photo mode not extending to the pit lane. So the main two in the championship fight, Joe and Hagee, they finish as they are. Joe would be extending their lead. They'd be extending it by 2 extra points, so 12-point gap going into the finale. I believe it's 6 or 7 laps to go. Things seem to have settled down. Again, it just seems to be... Oh, Crazy Joe! Careful, careful, careful. I was just about to say the word about consistency again and not making mistakes. Crazy John just managing to hold on to that one. Doesn't need to push at this point. He can afford to lose a second a lap and still be taking the win quite comfortably. Maybe he'll start dropping the pace. His ideas of how to potentially take pictures from the pit lane. Not overly much happening, it's just a case of monitoring the track map. Pretty much. Oh, I say that. Amuda and Quinners. Here we go then. Some juicy battling. Looks like a switchback maneuver from Quinners. And the Toyota gets it done on the inside. But will the BMW drop back, get a bit of slipstream, and retake the position? We're about to find out after this commercial break. Just kidding, we are staying live with the action here on Nukeshot Media. He looks to the inside. Quinners has outbroken himself. They've both outbroken themselves. Have they avoided damage? Yes, both of them have crucially avoided damage. The tyres on Amuda's car are absolutely shredded. Or perhaps Quinners changed tyres when they repaired their damage. So Amuda holds on to 5th for now. But here comes the Toyota once again, partially on the grass. Looking to the outside, sweeps around the outside. John Wondering goes into the pits. They're repairing that front aero damage they had earlier, it would seem, and they're also changing the tyres. The gap seems to have gone up, actually, between Crazy John and the Joe 2 guy. Now 13 seconds, nearly 14. Hagee still pretty much by himself in 3rd. It's probably the best he'll be able to do, bar any mistakes from the others up ahead. Gaps are just too big at the moment. 4th is James. And Quinners has got their way up to 5th, so Amuda might have made a mistake. He's made another mistake, he just about holds on to it very sideways through the chicane. As there's a spin, and I don't know who it is. It's John Wondering, I think. So he's a lap down. Let's see what happened to him. Does he just run a bit wide onto the grass again? Yep, there he goes. No margin for error. As someone else has gone off. Who's that? Amuda, the other GBM car. And he somehow keeps it on the circuit. Oh, Crazy John as well, was that? No, that was one of the Toyotas. So there goes Amuda for his trip over the grass. Oh, contact with the wall there for Hagee. And Quinners finds himself in the wall, somehow avoiding damage. That puts them back behind Amuda. Just keep it on the road, lads. I know it's easier said than done, and Amuda makes a mistake. They clip the inside wall. They bail for the pits. They've got damage, no doubt about that. And another car getting very sideways. I don't know who that was. Crazy John in the pit. Crazy John's picked up damage. Was that doing the same thing? It must have been. In the closing stages, Crazy John makes a mistake. Where does he rejoin? Where does he rejoin? He rejoins in the lead. What's the gap? 4.1 seconds. Joe will be absolutely licking his lips at this opportunity now. The gap continuing to go down. He can visibly see Crazy John up ahead. And it is game on. Shout out to the helicopter cam up there. Jack Wilkinson with his helicopter license once again. He's everywhere, that lad. Get the gap continuing to close down. Both of them are going to be feeling the pressure. I think. Yep, third and fourth very close together on track as well. Hagee in third, James in fourth. So James has managed to make up a lot of ground, as Hagee may have had to pit after they made the contact with the wall that we saw earlier. James just outside of the slipstream range, however. Maybe he'll gain it back on the acceleration. We shall see, we shall see. The gap continuing to come down between Crazy John and the Joe 2 guy. We could be looking at a last lap shootout. Just monitor your pace, lads. Oh! Just slight clip of the grass! Into the wall goes Hagee. He's picked up damage. I think James may have followed him into the wall. So both cars making the same mistake. Easy to just follow a car off. If you're monitoring their movements, you can be so focused on the car ahead that you literally mimic what they do. And James with engine damage, in fact, that's going to take a long time for them to repair compared to what Hagee had. I think he only had aero and suspension. The gap still coming down 1.6 seconds. Not quite within slipstream range. Joe needs to gain 1 extra second in order to get that. Two drivers at the top of their game. Rivals in so many series in the past. And it comes down to the final lap here. We're about to go on. Someone else has made a mistake. Who is that? Amuda has spun around, and I think the duel is still on between... Oh, actually that's John Wandering being lapped by Hagee. So John Wandering should in theory just drop back. Not really put pressure on. I think he has done, looking at the track map, so well done, Jono. The gap, 2.3 seconds. It's come up. It's come up. And I think... No, you can't say it. You can't say anything. You actually can't. Crazy John making their way down the back straight. About to go into sector 3. 2.2 seconds, the gap. 2.3 as the Honda pulls away on the straight. Someone else has gone off. I'm not sure who that was. It's Amuda again. Amuda could be overtaken by their teammate, actually, as they've gone off again. Crazy John just has the chicane to go. And he's held on. He has held on. And it is Crazy John taking race 1 of round 7 of the ARS Touring Car Championship Season 2 at the Goodwood Motor Circuit. The Joe 2 guy, a very consistent performance. Might have been the only driver not to venture into the pit lane that whole race. That stat's probably going to be corrected by someone in chat for all I know, but a very consistent display from them. Second place for them. Hagee will come across the line to take third place. Amuda coming across to take sixth. James was looking so promising, was battling for the lead. Mistake cost them. They're going to be taking fourth place here today. Quinners making their way through the final chicane, they're going to get fifth. Amuda did manage to beat their teammate John Wandering, but only 6 seconds in it as they made the mistake in sector 2. So congratulations to Crazy John. Pole position. It doesn't actually say he had fastest lap in the end. I wonder who that was. Let's have a look. It was Roland Jupiter, a 1:14.799. To quote X-Maddie G, I'm seeing that lap. Nah, I'm sure it's perfectly fine. I'll save the replay anyway, of course. Got to get the juicy thumbnail post stream. And indeed, D-Luck, race 2 will be with us not too long from now. The driver's just getting a break. We will be joining you at approximately 5 minutes from now, something like that. Maybe a bit over, we'll have to see how it goes. For race 2, the reverse grid race, which will last 20 minutes. So if you thought that race was a battle of attrition, this next one is going to be a bit more chaotic in terms of drivers fighting their way through the field. In terms of the race results, it was Crazy John with a win, 2.3 seconds the gap in the end to the Joe 2 guy in second. The ALT Hagee third place, 33 seconds back. James in fourth, Quinners in fifth, Amuda in sixth, edging out their teammate John Wandering in seventh. And of course, CRM Retorius, early retirement after the spin, which collected Hagee at the chicane. Unfortunately, not looking like they'll be racing with us for race. Of course, for the finale, again, consider subscribing with the notification thingamajig on in order to be informed as to when the streams go up regarding today and the finale in a week's time. 16 laps is going to be race 2. So it's going to be John Wandering on pole position, Amuda second. You gotta think, the BMWs, with their 7-speed gearbox, should be able to get a good launch as long as they don't battle each other. That's going to be the crucial thing here. And hopefully, now that they've had a full race, all of these guys will be able to stay a little bit more consistent than they were in race 1. Cars flying off left and right. It's fantastic to watch, but of course, want to see the battles rather than mistakes. Spin City, John Wandering says in chat. It certainly was. And surprisingly enough, it was around the chicane area, but it wasn't necessarily the chicane itself that caught people out. There were a couple occasions where the walls came into effect, but it seemed to be the corner before the chicane, this one, that the cars seemed to run a bit wider. It's a very difficult one to judge, I recall that myself. We've just realised that we haven't actually done a lap breakdown of the track. Apologies for that. We have been a little bit pushed for time today. What with the restart of the PlayStation 4. We'll be restarting, or getting race 2 started rather, in 3 minutes time according to my phone there. Race director Hagee saying we'll be starting at 40 minutes past, or 22. If you're enjoying the action so far, be sure to leave a like. This is Nukeshot Zokeo here on Nukeshot Media, bringing you live action and coverage of the ARS Racing Series Touring Car Championship Season 2 live at Goodwood Motor Circuit from the studio. Going on board with John Wandering for now, as his car has merged into the other BMW of ART James, it would seem, as he's gone back into the pit. Joe going out on circuit. Maybe we can see a lap on board with the Joe 2 guy. So making his way through turn 1. Again, extremely high speed section, pretty much just flat out through all of this. Again, extremely fast curves, and then you start braking. We'll let off the throttle for that section, and then brake here, and into the wall! Thanks, Joe, for that on board. This guy, man, this guy. An absolute peasant. The car's just parked up. It's a good venue to see the cars. You can see some of these guys enjoying a lunch. Maybe some, like a cream tea or something. Down in the south of the country. Good stuff. I'm enjoying the, definitely not officially sponsored, but please send me money anyway. Pepsi Max Raspberry. ART Hagee making their way out onto the circuit. As I believe the Joe 2 guy is making their way round again. He's gone off. So unfortunately not like we're going to be able to see much of a lap. Oh, I didn't realise you could get through there. That's new. Who was that? Was that Farmer Giles? Farmer Giles is making an appearance here today. Hello to Ian in chat, nice having you along. We're about to get race 2 underway here at the Goodwood Motor Circuit. Reverse grid, as I mentioned, so both of the GBM cars, that is Golden Bear Motorsports to give their full name, the BMW M4s, they are going to be at the front of the grid. Here is your grid for race 2. 20 minutes, of course. It is John Wandering on pole, Amuda 2nd, Quinners 3rd, James 4th, Hagee 5th, Joe 2 guy in 6th, and Crazy John, winner last time out, in 7th. Things are about to get juicy, the engines are revving, we're about to get underway for race 2 of round 7 of the ARS Touring Car Championship Season 2. Green, 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 and the cars are off. The BMWs do indeed get a good start, as does Quinners, considering the bog of the Toyota. He seemed to judge the lights perfectly, although now he's dropped down the order a bit as the BMWs of both James and Joe make their way through. Crazy John up a position ahead of Hagee now. John Wandering in the lead. Oh, bit of contact! Oh! John Wandering sent down the order. James up into the lead of the race. BMWs 1, 2 and 3 as they make their way into Sector 2. Unbelievable scenes, Jeff. Now Joe up into 2nd. This will be a good chance for Joe to extend their championship lead, of course. As there's contact, I think, and Amuda's gone straight on. What on earth has happened there? Has Joe managed to stay on the circuit? He's got rear aero damage, so that confirms there was contact. I'll see if I can get a replay of that shortly, but the battling continues. Hagee up to 3rd, Quinners up to 2nd, so the Toyotas are now up to speed. But it is James who has managed to make the most of all of this. 2 seconds the gap now. None of this matters. None of this matters at all. It's all about staying on the circuit and consistency as Quinners goes off the circuit and Joe pulls into the pit lane with that damage. And I'm gonna see if I can get an onboard now. I think it was Amuda, he overshot it. So here it was. It missed his braking point entirely right into the back of Joe. Well, it might have been netcode actually, given that there wasn't any damage on Amuda's car. James has damage. That might have been when they punted John Wandering out of the way. That's probably one for the stewards. John Wandering doesn't have damage. They're holding their own though in third at the moment. It's an ART 1-2 with the main ARS racing team in the lead. Crazy John looking to make a move to the outsideline.com for everything ARS. Looking for it. Gonna be difficult, and he goes off. He's gone majorly off. Avoids picking up damage, rejoins as safely as he could. Up into fifth. Oh! Oh! Unbelievable scenes. Very nearly colliding into the span-out car of John Wandering. Oh, and Joe nearly doing the same. What is going on? So John Wandering gets it wrong. Crazy John very nearly collides into him. And then the Joe 2 guy we're going to go on board with. I assume he makes the same mistake. Yep. Very nearly collides as well. And now it is an ART Blue 1-2. But I'm not a rapper. Hagee into the lead of the race. They currently have the fastest lap, a 1:16.231. Not quite the pace we saw earlier, but of course these guys haven't really had much of a chance to show their pace. Everyone's starting to spread out a little bit more now. Crazy John in third. He's very lucky to avoid any damage as they made the mistake coming through this corner as they're approaching. Side by side through here is not the best idea. I think these guys are figuring that out by now. It's difficult enough single file. James in fourth, still carrying that damage. I'm surprised James hasn't actually gone to the pits yet. As soon as I say that, he does indeed go into the pits. He's going to get that repaired. No need for a tyre change. Where's that going to put him? I believe it's going to rejoin in 7th. No, 6th. Okay. So just behind the Joe 2 guy. In 7th place at the moment, John Wandering was our pole sitter, remember. Fallen down the order. Hagee still in the lead. Winner's in second. These guys no doubt will have a team radio with each other, the ART lads, as Hagee gets it a bit wrong. Kept on the tarmac though, and actually lets Quinners go by. So Hagee choosing to play rear gunner here. Now Hagee's the one in the championship fight, where I suppose Quinners isn't too far off the championship paddle himself. Joe 2 guy down in 5th at this stage. A little bit of bulk drafting perhaps? It is permitted. See? Yep. There it is. There's the tactic. So they're going to do their best to work together to break away from Crazy John. Well done me for spotting that. Hasn't seemed to work because Crazy John is back into the slipstream. As I was saying, the ART lads will probably be in a team radio, thinking about strategies and such, compared to some of these guys like Crazy John and the Joe 2 guy, that single car drivers. Through the high-speed sections they go. The Honda all over the back of the Toyota of Hagee. The top 3 have a gap over the rest of the field. It's an absolute pressure cooker waiting to happen here. Just waiting to explode into madness. Madden NFL 11, shout out. Hey, there's Jack Wilkinson stood on the side. And there's another Jack Wilkinson. Jack Wilkinson, the name of every cameraman in existence. Coming through the chicane. Gonna go on board here. Oh! Yep, that's damage for Crazy John. Makes a mistake. It didn't look like he clipped it on our screen. He must have on his. That's a slight bit of interference like that. And Amuda goes up into 3rd place because of that. And the Joe 2 guy looking to make a move. Indeed, Joe goes up to 4th. So Crazy John's mistake has cost them positions. They could even drop down to 6th here, as James has a run, looks to the inside line. And manages to get that to stick. The Honda back into the slipstream. The battle for 4th and 3rd is on. Joe looking to the outside line. Just manages to hold on. Amuda looking for a cutback. Great racing. Amuda back into 3rd place. And all of this battling is going to be doing the ART Blue guys a load of favours. They'll be trying to keep each other calm in the radio, probably doing that bump drafting again. Good strategy by them. Some leagues prohibit it. Not prohibited here, all part of the action. Joe looking to the inside, backs out of it wisely. So, oh! As someone ran wide, that's James! James has gone off! James has spun out! They made their way through the chicane. We're gonna see this again. Exterior cam probably for the best. I reckon it's just carrying too much speed. Yep, the understeer. There's the grass. No escape. Kept it out the wall. Massive flat spots on the tyres, more than likely from that. If flat spots are indeed a thing in Gran Turismo Sport. So that's dropped James down. But we're not even half of the race distance yet. Anything can happen. Look at this 3-car scrap as they make their way through Sector 2. Amuda down to 5th then. Amuda on the grass. Bit of rallycross action. He got airborne there for a second and he manages to get back on. Airborne Amuda. There's a headline. Now Crazy John looking to overtake Joe for 3rd place. This was the battle of the last race in the closing segments. Now, for the final step of the podium, still plenty of time for things to happen though. Looking to the inside, surely they're not going to try side by side here. I think they are. Crazy John to the inside, Joe wisely backs out of that one. Through the chicane they come. Amuda looks a little bit shaky on exit. They avoid the wall. Bring on the wall! Or don't, because you want to stay as far away from it as possible. Quinners still holding station. Well, Hagee rather holding station behind Quinners. ART Blue 1, 2, 11.6, no, rather 11.8 seconds the gap now, and continuing to increase. No doubt these guys are just not going to be battling each other. Why would you? We've seen what the battling leads to. Crazy John ahead of the Joe 2 guy. And Amuda taking his rallycross line once again. There he goes airborne as he rejoins the circuit. Hashtag airborne Amuda. We get that in chat. Currently 5 viewers in chat, one of them being myself of course, having to monitor the stream. Nice having you guys along. Oh, Ian is actually Amuda. Okay, I thought that was someone else entirely. Fair enough. Amuda on the Joker lap indeed, D-Look in chat. James in 6th. John Wandering in 7th. The battle for the lead, one of the closer ones. Nevertheless, 3rd and 4th closer still as they make their way through turn 1. Things looking quite juicy. Bit of rallycross for CJ. That's going to put dirt on the tyres. Could limit their speed and stability as they go through this section. Specifically as they go into Sector 2. Look at the BMW. Look at the speed that is carrying with the slipstream. The Honda holds on. Managed to get the tyres cleared up before the corner. It seems to take around 15 seconds or so. 10 to 15 seconds for the tyres to clean up. At least for the major part. Joe, sporting his on fire livery, of course, was known as Joe of the Fire. Still has that account. racing, of course, for Team Simpact. Miracle Swablu earlier in the season, unfortunately no longer around. I believe he uninstalled Gran Turismo, which is a shame with the storage space thing. Hopefully we'll be able to see him again come GT7, who knows. As Amuda into the pits. Amuda, how has he got front and rear aero damage? That must have been a Scuderia Spinala moment. Oh, it might have been on the run to the chicane. Oh, he did get suspension damage as well at one point. And he rejoins, and that's allowing John Wandering up into 6th place as the battle between the GBM cars starts heating up again. Muda will have the slipstream, or will he? That's the question. Yep, he just manages to get up to speed in order to gain that slipstream back again. Quinner's starting to get a bit of a gap over Hagee actually, as Crazy John has the fastest lap of the race, 1:15.386. Slightly over the grass again, manages to keep it together. The main thing when you get two wheels on the grass is to limit your acceleration and limit your steering input, because those are the two things that combined lead to spins. That's why you tend to see cars mid-corner that touch the grass spin out a lot easier than when they're just exiting onto a straight. Science with Zokeo. Oh, bit of a cut there from Joe. All good. Two wheels still on the tarmac, of course. Track limits. As a Muda into the pits again. What's happened here? They were to the inside of their teammate. Nope. It would be the chicane again, catching them out. Close proximity. Yep. Again, there's probably contact on their screen. Looked like there was a little bit of a gap on ours. Oh, wait, what was that? Amuda's off again into the grass. Maybe he's planning on joining the Grasser racing team for all I know. He carried a bit too much speed. Oh. That's damage for car 54 once again. Am I right in saying that? No. Okay, I'm wrong in saying that. I thought I saw two arrows there on the map. Crazy John continuing to extend their gap over the Joe 2 guy, continuing to set purple sectors. Was fastest last time around with 1:15.378, and setting purple sectors once again as they go through sector 1. Still, it's not looking like they're going to have enough time to catch the two ART blue cars who are up ahead. They're catching John Wandering, or a Muda. That might be a Muda actually. Yep. As, oh, very sideways, very sideways. Oh, this could be scary for the leaders. Oh, and indeed, Quinner's caught out. That's going to be engine damage for Quinner's, no doubt about that. Did Hagee pick up anything? Hagee gets unscathed through that. Here it is. There you see. The issue is, which way do you go in that? He decides to go to the inside, realises it's the wrong way at the last second. And now look, he went past the pit entry. That is extremely costly for Quinners, especially this late on. Let's see what happened from Hagee's perspective, how he managed to get through that. He was a bit further back, could see, and then thread the needle. Cautiously went on the brakes, as you'd expect. So Hagee up into the lead of the race. Quinners has dropped down to 4th, could drop further, as I believe James is there. Amuda in 7th. I believe they picked up, oh, they picked up every kind of damage after that impact. That's pretty much a guaranteed 7th for Amuda then. John wandering pretty much by himself at this stage in 6th. Hagee just has to stay consistent. Crazy John benefits, they're up to 2nd. The Joe 2 guy benefits, they're up to 3rd. Remember, they're the championship leader going into this race weekend. Hagee, their closest challenger, will be gaining some extra points on them here. At the moment, it was net +2 in favour of Joe, as both Quinners and Amuda go into the pits. However, with this particular win on the cards, if Hagee manages to take it, it will be... where's the points thing, majig? Can't find it. Is it under this? Okay. Yes. It will be a net +3 in Hagee's favour. Given how close those are in the championship going into the finale, that would be a very juicy prospect. That'll close the gap down to, I believe, 7 points if they finish as they are. My math could be completely wrong on that. As someone else has span off, I'm not sure who it is. Who is that? It's Amuda. Again, the weight transfer through this section is an absolute nightmare to deal with for these guys. Carrying far too much speed! I've no idea what he was thinking there. Maybe not even a hint of a lift, or... is very much insane. He's just been lapped by his teammate. The leader's about to go on to what will be the last lap of the race. 5.3 seconds, the gap between Hagee and Crazy John. Crazy John seeming to be the big winner from this particular weekend. He's stayed one of the more consistent drivers. A very solid pace. He's done a 1:14 again, 1:14.904. Again, not quite the 1:14.7 we saw Quinners do last race, but still, any 1:14 is extremely impressive around here. Amuda into the pits. I think he's just staying in the pits, at least as the leaders go past. And it's looking... Again, actually no, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Joe in 3rd at the moment. James 4th. Quinners 5th. He was in the lead at one point. Then picked up the damage after guessing the wrong way with that Amuda collision. John wandering 6th. 7th place for Amuda. They have indeed just parked up at this stage. Hagee. We're going to go on board with them. There's one sector to go, but it's the sector that's been catching people out all day. He's got enough of a gap to coast his way through, you'd think. No need to push. Just take it as smooth as you like. Firmly grasp it, as Patrick Starr once said. Oh! And he nearly messes it up, but he does manage to get through. And it's Hagee taking race 2 of round 7 of the ARS Touring Car Championship Season 2. Taking the win. Good work by them. Stayed consistent. Crazy John will take 2nd. They'll be the maximum point scorer from this race weekend. The Joe 2 guy takes 3rd place. Again, consistency from Joe as well. I believe that was a 2nd and a 3rd. Although my memory may fail me, I'm not 100% sure on the race 1 results. Quinners, no, this isn't Quinners, this is James. James takes 4th place. Quinners crosses the line now to take 5th, what could have been for the Irish lad. John Wondering will come across the line to take 6th place. And Amuda, looking to stay in the pits, will be 7th. This was absolute madness as John Wondering slides his way across the line. there are your results once again. Great work there by ART Hagi. That really does close up the championship between the top two going into the final race. Unfortunately, that result's probably going to keep Quinners from being in that championship fight, but we never know. Yet for the full calculations to be done in terms of pits, the points rather, the pits. My brain's vacated from today. It's on holiday. It's somewhere in Mallorca. I don't know. I haven't even left the island. What even is a Mallorca? Who knows? Quinners seems to have left the lobby straight away. Don't blame him after the unfortunate events. Next time we'll be going to Circuit de Saint Croix on layout B. You may actually find it entertaining to watch Season 1 of the ARS Touring Car Championship, the finale. That was at Circuit de Saint Croix B last time out. Fantastic racing we saw there. They'll definitely get you in the mood. Be sure to check that out. I believe it's in the ARS Racing Series playlist on the channel. Very eventful day today, full of action. Plenty of mistakes. Definitely a high-risk circuit. Crazy John with the fastest lap in the end, a 1:14.904. Fastest lap of the weekend, though, going to Quinners. Hagi with the win, 3.9 seconds over Crazy John. Then the Joe 2 guy 12 seconds back. James in 4th, Quinners 5th, John Wander in 6th, and Amuda in 7th. Yes, I know Mallorca's a Spanish island, alright. 'Twas but a joke. 'Twas but a joke. So, on the 25th, if all goes well, we'll be joining you for the Round 8 and season finale of ARS Touring Car Championship Season 2 at Circuit de Saint Croix Layout B. Hope you've all enjoyed the stream today. Again, if you have, be sure to leave a like on it. Consider subscribing to stay in touch when we go live for the season finale. And we hope to see you there. So from all of us here at the studio, this has been Nukeshot Zokeo of Nukeshot Media. And we hope to see you then. Till then, goodbye.